Space Venom Mania. Is this 2-pack worth your time? Find out with me on the next episode of Toy Foolery. So let's take a look at the box and see if it's better than your mother's.
This box better than the box he was held in.
Front we have renders of the Space Venom and what is this child's name? I'm sorry, I'm not aware of her. I really do like, oh, Mania does right there in the box. Mania and Space Knight Venom. Cool artwork on the side of Mania, Space Knight Venom. I really have preferred if the toy looked more like that piece of artwork. On the back we have two renders. We show Venom with his claw hand, his crazy face, Mania, and on the side another render of Mania and Venom. Cool thing, no poses that these figures can't catch, but let's open the box and see what we get.
What's in the box?
And here we have Space Knight Venom out the box with Mania, and let's see what else comes in the box. We get a Space Knight claw that is supposed to attach to Venom's arm. Actually, we get two of those. Okay, and we get a additional head for Space Knight Venom, looking very menacing. So, cool set of accessories for Venom, but Mania comes with Diddly Squad. Mania comes with Mania. So, that is completely horrible. Totally would have got shot for that, because why the hell do you only give me accessories for Space Knight Venom and not for Mania? I would have liked to have at least additional hands or something for her. I would like to have additional hands for Venom, but like fists so he can punch stuff. But I would like to have fists for both of them. But okay, it's nitpicking there. But yeah, what's in the box is trash too. The box was okay. Space Knight is fine. I really do appreciate the add-on effects for him that are unique to him, and I probably won't see anywhere else. But the fact that nothing came with Mania is annoying. So let's check out how well these guys pose. Okay, well, Venom fell as I hit my camera to turn it on, but he hits a T-pose, kind of. His arms are actually straight. It's just the way his arms are cut that he is not getting a full extension. He will have to actually his shoulders will have to go beyond 90 to get to that point. As you can see, Mania is actually above the 90-degree mark, so she's actually hitting T-pose easily. Let's see how well both of these guys look up. As you can see, Mania is able to look up fairly decent, not a full 180 look up, but fairly close enough to it, so she's cool. Venom, on the other hand, can look straight forward. That's me putting as much pressure as I can on him looking forward without popping the head, and he is just looking straight up, not actually at anything. Okay, let's see if either of them can sit. Mania is sitting perfectly on the Rubik's Cube. Hips actually go at a full 90, and her legs are able to get into a dynamic poses so that she can actually have her legs in her lap. I probably could get her in a yogi position where she has both legs crossed. I'm assuming that Venom, one being a big beefy boy, he won't be able to do it, but we're going to give it a shot anyway. Hips straight. Well, his hips go out straight. Okay, maybe Venom can get it. And Not quite. His other hip is fighting me, but it might just be because these things have been sitting in cold rooms for a long time. And I hit my camera, lovely. But if his right hip wasn't so cold and fighting me, he actually could sit. So I'm going to give him a pass on level 1. He got 2 of the 3 poses. He can't look up. Apparently, Hasbro does not know how to make big beefy boys move their head above their neck. Everything's always hindered by their traps. So let's see if they can do some more dynamic poses. This is weird because even though Venom struggled to move because of his neck motion and the way his body was shaped, he actually has a little bit more articulation than Mania. Mania only has the upper torso movement. She has no hip movement. She has no well, she has a little bit of hip movement. She doesn't have any movement in her no ab crunch where Space Knight Venom does. So that is a huge advantage to him, so that he might be able to get into a little bit more dynamic poses. Her hips, do her hips move? Let's check. Her hips do not move. So her hips do not lie, nor do they move. She won't be able to get into more dynamic poses. You might be able to move her upper torso, but her hips will not get in place. She has a thigh cut, double jointed knees, no toe articulation. She has a pivot on her ankle, double jointed elbows. And because her hips don't move and her waist doesn't move, she's not going to get past most of the poses in level 2. Can she at least get 2 out of 3? Can she give me a high kick? And she can give me a high kick. I'm not expecting a split from anyone, but at least I can get a high kick out of her. I guess that's the most I can ask for her. But she's not going to get into more dynamic positions, such as a Kamehameha pose. And even though she has the body form for it, the body factor for it, she won't be able to jump down, get into a superhero pose because she doesn't have it for it. The body, she doesn't have the articulation for it. Space Venom, on the other hand, let's see. Can you give me a high kick, Space Venom? One second. And Space Venom is giving me not the highest of kicks. Actually, his hips don't go any higher without me breaking it. So feet down. He gave me a straight kick, not a high kick. So I don't know if I'm going to give him a pass on that either. He might not make it to level 3 in posing. He has double jointed elbows. No, he has single jointed elbows. Sorry. Single jointed elbows, double jointed knees. None of them are pinless, which makes me wonder if this is just a retool of the original Build-A-Figure, which is very plausible. I never got that figure, so this is kind of my chance to get it without spinning an arm and a leg. But yeah, he is not going to get the most dynamic poses. That extra articulation and elbow would have helped him, but since he's single jointed elbow, he's probably going to be stuck with the most basic forms. And because he's a big beefy boy, he might be able to get in a backflip pose because they gave him an ab crunch, but not really. You can get him in a kind of jumping down scaring pose, but not necessarily. And his jumping down scaring pose is going to suck because he can't look up, and you're not going to really get that much dynamic light hitting him in the face unless you tilt him that way. Okay, so let's check out the style. So we have some good we have good sculpt on the body. As you can see, he has an ab crunch, but the ab crunch does not break the sculpt. So the paint on it, so that's actually really good. Good decal on the Guardians of the Galaxy logo on the side. We have Space Venom face where it's out in space. Some good detail on the body where you have ribs on his neck, so it looks like a spacesuit. Good paint job on the hands and the body. Good paint on the back of his legs. This is a decent figure in that regard. Where Mania looks like she's kind of cobbled together from different pieces with kind of a Spider-Man head with kind of like some putty on it to kind of get it to have this different thing. I never knew of the character Mania. Apparently she's supposed to be Venom's girlfriend. Not a fan of the figure. I do like the coloring on the boots and the arm gauntlets, but other than that, not a fan of this figure. It's just kind of plain Jane. Yeah, not enough style for me. Just kind of looks like Venom, girl Venom, and I guess that was the idea. Let's see how they scale with other figures. Let's see what we have in hand. We have the lovely Joe Fixit. Let's see how he scales. Joe Fixit's actually a little bit bigger than Space Venom, which is amazing. Let's see how he fits with the only quill that I have available. I don't know where the other one is, and I apologize for that. We have the I look a lot like Russell Crowe quill. As you can see, they gave him a little bit of height. Not the greatest, but a little bit of height. Let's see how Mania sits next to him. And Mania is just below Peter Quill. This set is, I think this set is overpriced. The problem with though is that to get a complete Space Venom Build-A-Figure, which is the reason why I got this set in the first place, was because I wanted this guy. You're going to end up spending the same amount that you paid for this double set. You might as well go get it from Target and pick up Mania, and then sell it off or do something. But if you didn't get Space Venom and you're a fan of the character, go get the set. You won't be disappointed. It's basically this. I don't have the Build-A-Figure, but from the way that this body is built and how Hasbro has been building bodies lately, I can assume that this is just a reuse of the original Build-A-Figure. So if you love Space Venom and you didn't get it, go get it. This is a really good value proposition. It's basically saying, hey, you know what? You didn't get it the first time. You didn't want to get that whole wave. You didn't get Space Venom. Here's your chance to get him. But other than that, guys, I can't recommend it unless you just missed out on Space Venom and you wanted it. But this is not just it's a decent toy, but not a good enough toy to spend $50 for both figures. Especially Mania is not that great. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Bye.